taking to the stage at the tender age of 9, Malcolm Jamal Warner shot to fame as cheeky Theo Huxtable in The Cosby Show. Growing up in front of 30 million viewers a week, he left the show when he was 21. Since then, he's written his very own Cosby biography, starred in his own series Here and Now, and directed an AIDS awareness film with Magic Johnson. All this, and he's still just 23. Welcome to The Word, Malcolm.
Malcolm. He's a big tough lad. Have you met Salt?
Oh yeah, we go way back.
Spinderella.
We go way back.
It's a bit snary, but it's because she always feels like she's left it. Your love. Give us your hand.
Love, that's love. That's love.
Give me love.
We always think of it. And of course, Pepper.
Oh yes. Yeah.
It's on mine, but she's been shoved over that side, so we won't be ignoring her for most of this bit.
Being in New York, we've seen each other, like, you know, through the years. Back in the day, I used to try to get Salt to hook me up with his sister, but, you know, she kept fronting on me.
I remember.
She kept fronting on me.
300 million Americans over in the States, and every time we have any on the show, they all know each other like that. It's all like,
Yeah.
Well, in the business, yeah.
It's a stage thing, you know.
In the business. But, of course, you're an actor, but you started at the age of 13, didn't you?
Yeah, I started Cosby at 13. I started actually acting. I started doing theater when I was about 9.
But, I mean, being cast into the limelight when you're only 13.
Yeah.
Was that a tough thing to deal with?
No, actually, it was kind of cool for me because my whole mentality of the business was a little bit different because I wasn't groomed to be in the business. I started doing theater because my mother was trying to find something for me to do. So by the time Cosby hit, instead of, you know, really dealing with, wow, this show is successful, I can just kind of kick back because I'm hot. It wasn't really that. It was more of, well, I got to keep working so when this show is over, I can go into doing something else.
What's Bill Cosby like? Because he comes across as very likeable and everything, but a lot of the time I look at him and I think, well, he's so rich, he doesn't have to work again, so why do it?
I think his mentality kind of helped me in that, you know, this is a man who's got, you know, all the money in the world, but yet his work ethic is for him to continue to work hard. You know,
I know, but some people think you're an idiot if you thought like that.
Well,
do you know what I mean? I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but, you know, people say, well, he's got the money, why don't he just retire?
I think that's an idiot way of thinking because, I mean, not that you're an idiot, Terry.
No, stay with the first one. You'll have plenty of support.
Well, forget what they said about you, I like it. But I think, you know, part of half the battle is getting the money, but then there's a whole another war in terms of maintaining that kind of money. So I think anyone, you know, who has any kind of sense, you know, realizes that while, you know, this money is coming in, I got to have that money continue to make money.
Has he encouraged you really to branch out, so that you're doing other things, you're directing as well as acting? You even wrote a book, didn't you, for teenagers?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know what you think about this. You know, Salt and Pepper Spinderella. The fact that it seems to me that every time somebody who's black kind of gets in a high up position, everybody expects them to be role models, you know.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I've kind of dealt with. People, you know, because they look at the Cosby Show and what that show stands for, and then, you know, all of a sudden look at me and say I've got to be, you know, a role model for everybody's kids.
But why though?
Well, see, that's my thing. I think what we do as a society is we equate role model with perfection. And I've always said, well, you know, you can look at the way I live my life, and if you want to use that as an example, that's cool. But, you know, I don't have any kids, so I can't raise your kids, and I can't possibly tell your kids
what kind of advice did you give them then?
Well, actually, let me clear this up.
I mean, you're doing the Cosby Show. You were probably saying buy shares in.
No,
Japan.
not at all. Actually, the reason I did the book, the book was for me, in a sense, one big fan letter back to everyone that wrote to me. So what I did. Well, damn. That's Grace over there on the drums. Let's call him Grace. No, actually, what I did, the book, I took a bunch of fan letters, and I took all of the issues that young people wrote about and kind of divided those up into chapters, and basically took their questions and their problems and kind of, you know, answered them in terms of what my perspective was. You know, not that I was an authority figure on life at 18, but it was just sharing my thoughts and feelings and beliefs.
But coming up next, you've got this movie with Wesley Snipes, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah. I'm playing Wesley's brother.
Okay, listen, we're going to have to talk about it afterwards. We have managed to hook up with Australia and our Huffy there.